Alrighty, we are going backwards a little bit. We finished everything that we need to know from chapter 4 minus lesson 4.5, convert measurements units. So this lesson is going to be a little bit longer. It's something that you definitely need to pay very close attention to. We've got our test on Thursday, so tomorrow we're going to do a practice test during our Zoom call. But right now, I would like you to flip, I'm going to have you flip open to page 290, because that is where you're going to find the chart that I have here. So open your textbook to page 290, and you will see this customary conversions chart. None of these are conversions that I'm going to ask you to memorize. I will give this to you on the test. I will give it to you on... on the test. I was thinking quiz. But I'll give this to you on the test so you won't have to memorize anything. I'm going to move fairly quickly through this vocab, but I'll pause the video so that you can write it down. So, converting units. We are converting from inches to miles, for instance, or miles to feet, or pounds to ounces, something like that. We're converting from one unit of measurement to another. To do that, we've got to use three things, and these three things you're going to use this year, you're going to use next year, you're going to use in 8th grade. It's super, super duper important that you start to get this foundation now, so moving forward it'll be easier. The first vocab word is dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis is a big fancy way of saying use your units. You have to use your units when converting your measurements. And I know some of these you'll be able to do in your head, and that's perfectly fine. However, they're easy for a reason. Some of these are easy so that we can practice the process, and you'll know that you got the answer correct because you already did it in your head maybe, or you did it another way. You've got to use dimensional analysis. Then we've got a unit rate. Unit rates we should be very comfortable with. It's just a rate. So again, rate means units. So a rate is different from a ratio because rates, you write units. And the denominator is 1. And then we've got conversion factors. A conversion factor, we are going to use a bubble when we write our conversion factors. And I promise, follow my lead. Do not try to skip steps. Don't try to do it any differently. Make sure you put it in that bubble, and that's why I wrote this in a bubble as well. This is a tough lesson, but if you follow along with each step and don't work ahead, you'll be okay. Conversion factor is what you multiply to change your units. So let's kind of recap. How do we solve 12 times 2/6? Hopefully we're very comfortable with this, right? Well, we know a whole number needs to go over 1, so we do that first. And then we decide, can we cross-cancel? Yeah, we can cross-cancel the 12 and the 6, right? 6 goes into 6 one time, 6 goes into 12 twice, and then we multiply straight across to get 4 over 1, which is 4. If you're comfortable with this, you're going to be okay eventually with converting units. The only difference is we're going to start assigning units to these numbers, right? So this could be inches, this could be inches. And just like we can cross-cancel, and this is not accurate at all, right? I'm just putting these labels here. But we can cross-cancel units just like we can cross-cancel numbers. So here, these inches can cross-cancel with these inches, and that's our goal. We have a starting point, and then we have an end destination. So keep that in mind as we go. Alrighty. Example 1, or example just in general. Convert 20 feet to inches. So let's just get started and let's just start working through it together. 20 feet to inches. So we're starting here at 20 feet, and our end goal is inches, right? So we need to know some type of conversion. We're dealing with feet and we're dealing with inches. Look at page 290. And look for your units. So I see feet, 1 foot is 12 inches, and likely, hopefully, we already knew that, right? So that's what we need to know. That's what we are converting, feet to inches. That being said, our conversion factor, we can write two ways. So I'd like you to bubble this out, right? This is where we're going to start writing our conversion factor. Let's write that down. This is going to be our conversion factor. So feet to inches is what we're dealing with. We know that there is 1 foot in 12 inches. We write it as a fraction. And we can always write a conversion factor two different ways, with 1 foot on top and 12 inches on the bottom. Or we could also write it 12 inches on the top and 1 foot on the bottom. Now, it's up to us to determine which conversion factor is the correct one to use. So it says 20 feet. Well, that's like a whole number, right? So that whole number needs to go over 1. And we're multiplying it by one of these conversion factors. We're not sure which one. However, our goal is to cross-cancel our units. Our goal is to cross-cancel our units. So if feet is on the top here, well, then we want feet on the bottom over here, right? Just like we would cross-cancel if we had a number. So if we want feet to cross-cancel, well, which of these conversion factors has feet on the bottom? This one, right? So our conversion factor that we should use is 12 inches and 1 foot, so that these feet cross-cancel. So we can cross-cancel the feet because, again, we're trying to get from feet to inches. So that means the only units that we have left in our problem are inches, and that's our goal. That's our end goal. And then we just need to multiply like normal, multiply straight across. So 20 times 12, so 2 times 12 is 24, right? So 240 inches over 1, because 1 times 1 is 1, or just simply 240 inches. And that would be our final answer. Alrighty. Let's do example 2. 36 yards to feet. So yards to feet. We've got to look at page, again, 290, and let's see, what could our possible conversion factors be? We're converting yards to feet, so let's bubble out that conversion factor. Let's see, 1 yard is 3 feet, and hopefully you already knew that, but looking at your conversion chart is fine. So we can write that as 1 yard over 3 feet, or 3 feet over 1 yard. So let's go ahead and start, because before we determine which conversion factor we should use, we need to start our multiplication, start that process. So 36 yard, and to use your units, using your units is using this process called dimensional analysis. So that's super duper important. Alrighty, so then our goal is to get to feet. So we're multiplying by some conversion factor, which we don't know which one yet. And 36 is like a whole number, right? So we put that 36 over 1. And then let's decide which conversion factor. We're trying to get rid of yards. So which of these, the first one or the second one, is going to get rid of yards, as in cross-cancel? It's going to be the second one. So we're going to use the second conversion factor. So we're going to multiply by this one simply because the units cross-cancel. Alrighty, so then we just multiply straight across, right? So 36 times 3. 36 times 3 gives us, and maybe we don't know, so let's do some side work actually. 36 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So, let me scoot this over. 108 feet. And then 1 times 1 is 1. So it's just 108 feet. And that is our final answer. Alrighty, let's do the next guy. Example 3. 3/4 T, that big T stands for tons. 3/4 ton equals how many pounds? So again, on page 290, let's look at our conversion chart. So our conversion factors, our possible conversion factors are 1 ton is equivalent to 2,000 pounds. So LBS is pounds, just so you know. So we can write it like that, or the other way, just flip it. 2,000 pounds over 1 ton. Now, to figure out which conversion factor we need to use, let's go ahead and start our multiplication. So 3/4 ton. Now, 3/4 is a gross number, right? It's a fraction. We don't like fractions. However, we still need to put it over 1. That's the process. Just follow the process. Put it over 1, and that's totally fine to do. Then we need to multiply by some conversion factor. Which of these conversion factors is going to get rid of tons? Remember, tons is top, so tons, to cancel it, needs to be on the bottom, which means we're going to use that second conversion factor, 2,000 pounds over 1 ton. Now, if you are not using your units, that means you're not using dimensional analysis, which is what I'm testing. I'm testing, do you know what dimensional analysis is? Do you know how to use it? And if you're not using it, then no. Even if you got the right answer, I am trying to see if you understand what it means to use and apply dimensional analysis. So now we just multiply straight across. Again, trust the process. Even though 3/4 and 2,000 are super gross numbers, totally fine. Let's just go ahead and multiply it. So we probably need to do some side work, right? 3/4 times 2,000. So we're multiplying straight across. And to do that, we need to put 2,000 over 1. Can we cross cancel? Yes. We can cross cancel this. And maybe we don't know, maybe we see that they're both even, so we just cross cancel by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2,000 divided by 2 is 1,000. And then we can cross cancel again by 2. This 2 goes into 2 once. 1,000 divided by 2 gives us 500. So 3 times 500 is 1,500 over 1, which is just 1,500. So let's come back up to the top. 1,500 pounds over 1, which is just 1,500 pounds. We're left with that. LBS is our unit, so that is our final answer. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and let's skip that one. Let's go here. Example 6, just because these are a little bit longer. Convert 15 quarts to gallons. So first, we need to look at what we know. We need to look at quarts and gallons. So again, on page 290, quarts and gallons. We've got 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So 1 gallon is 4 quarts, or 4 quarts is 1 gallon. So let's start with 15 quarts. And then we put that over 1 because it's like a whole number. We've got to decide which one of these are we going to use, right? Which conversion factor? Well, quarts is top left, so we need quarts to be on the bottom to cross cancel. So we're going to use 1 gallon over 4 quarts so that they can cross cancel. All right, and then we multiply straight across. 15 times 1 is 15. Now in this case, we have a different number other than 1 on the denominator. So we're going to put that over 1 times 4 is 4, and it's gallons. Now, just like with multiplying fractions, we want to make this this improper fraction into a mixed number. 4 goes into 15 how many times? 4 goes into 15 3 times to give us 12 with 3 left over out of 4. So it's 3 3/4 gallon. Now I am going to have you do a few got it's. You are going to complete them on paper, and then you are going to upload that so that I can see that you are showing the correct work. And I will let you know what those are after this video.